Hi everybody, welcome back to the Springfield and Western layout update time, April 2025. These are the things we do want to discuss today. First, the Springfield and Western finally has a second engine, and it's this beautiful old GP-9. Then we briefly take a look onto two more cars that received a little bit of reveling. And finally, we check out some ideas concerning possibly extending the spur at Warner Systems. So let's start with the most important story today. The Springfield and Western now has a second engine. I really wanted to go with something rather old style look. So I wanted to have a high short hood, and I wanted to have this rounded roof on top of the cab, and this limited my options to GP7, GP9 or GP18. And because I really wanted to go with Atlas again, and the GP18 is not available from Atlas and N-Scale. It was GP7 or GP9. I preferred the GP9 as it's a little bit younger than the GP7. And after a few months of search, I finally found a suitable base model on eBay. And yeah, it really was a good deal. Starting price was like 45 euros, and I got this for 51 plus shipping, I believe. So really happy with that. And yeah, the base model is the New Haven 1220. So I really wanted the second engine to have a similar look to my first engine. And the first engine, as you probably know, is based off the original paint scheme of the original Norfolk and Southern. And yeah, this meant I had to repaint the engine from the New Haven paint scheme into this gray and black scheme. And yeah, I don't have much experience in painting models and scale models, and I also don't own an airbrush, so I really had to do with paint brushes instead. But I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. If it goes wrong, it's my fault, but at least I tried. So let's take a look on what I did. At first, I grabbed a very small paintbrush as well as some toothpicks in order to paint the areas around the lights and around the number boards and around the windows, because I was really afraid of accidentally painting them with gray paint and ruining the model in the process. On the larger areas where the gray hits the black areas, my first try with masking tape really didn't work, so I was already quite frustrated quite early in the process. The left-hand side of the engine worked rather okay. I used a reasonable amount of paint, rather dry paint, and the result was rather okay, at least for using a paintbrush. But then a while later I turned to the right-hand side, and boy, I got no idea what I was doing over there, because I used way too much paint, it was way too wet, and the result really, really looked awful. And I got very frustrated with that. After my bad experience with masking tape, here on top of the hood, I even tried to hand paint the sort of borderline between the gray and black areas. And at the beginning I thought it looked okay, but as soon as I took detail shots, I wasn't so sure anymore, because of course you could see that I hand painted that, and it really didn't look good. So then I decided to give the masking tape another try, but this time I read some stuff online beforehand and learned how to do it in the proper way, and surprise, surprise, the result was much better. It's now a pretty straight line between the black and the gray, and I believe that looks quite good. After sorting out the gray and black areas, I turned my attention to the handrails, which needed to turn yellow, and surprisingly it was quite hard to find a good yellow. What I had first looked rather orange, then I bought something else and it was way too bright. So I mixed some white into the orange paint that I had before, and yeah, in the end I had this, and once again I painted this with a very small paintbrush, and that was quite challenging in end scale, but it was also quite fun, and I really liked the result. When I had finished the paint, it was time to turn my attention to the decals. I still had some printed decals on hand from earlier projects, and I knew I wanted to have that same look with the Springfield and Western on the back and the SWR here underneath the window. One issue is I wasn't sure about the road numbers, so I didn't have numbers for this engine, obviously, because I never knew I would need a 1220, and I wasn't able to immediately reprint some decals, and so I decided to just keep this small area with the original 1220 from the New Haven paint scheme. So, and that's why there's a kind of a little orange box underneath the SWR with the original 1220. To be honest, I really don't think this is a good solution now. So this might be a project for the future, and I might come back, paint this area gray, and print new decals with new road numbers and stick them onto the locomotive. After decaling, it was now time to put on some dirt, do some weathering, and my hope was to hide some of the badly painted areas underneath the weathering, and I believe it somehow worked. Even on the right hand side, the bad side, if you will, of the engine, it's now not so obvious that this paint scheme was done with a paintbrush and not with an airbrush. So that was something that worked quite okay. So finally, here we have the two engines side by side. My goal for the GP9 was to give it a similar paint scheme to what I already had on the GP38. And yeah, please leave a comment and tell me what you think. Does it look okay? Did I completely mess it up? Leave a comment and share your opinion. So, one final look on the finished locomotive. Two other small projects of the last couple of weeks. I revered these two boxcars. First, this Norfolk Southern boxcar. It might be hard to see on camera, and it's more like a light weathering, so it's just some powders that I used to take away this plastic look. So I didn't want it to be too rusty or extremely dirty. I just wanted to have it look a little bit more realistic. And yeah, that's the result. The other one is this railbox, 50-foot box car. Here I tried something different. I grabbed some Q-tips and kind of wiped away some of the original lettering on the car. And additionally, also here I added some dirt, of course. So it's a little bit, it looks a little bit more kind of rotten than the Norfolk Southern car. I also added rust on top of the roof. So kind of two different weathering methods I used here, two different results. I believe both are okay. To be honest, I like the Norfolk Southern result a little bit more. Yeah, what do you think? Let me know. So, and finally, right now I'm considering to extend the spur at Warner Systems. And for me, that's quite a tough decision because on the one hand, I really don't want to overload the scenery. I don't want to do too much track on a small area, but on the other hand, of course, I want to keep the switching sessions interesting, and this might be a good option to just extend that track a little bit so that you have a second spot. And I would love to make this a spot for a different type of car, so not for box cars. And I'm also thinking about extending the building of Warner Systems in a way that maybe that additional car can go into the building. But yeah, that's very early stages right now. I'm not sure how I would do it, and I'm not sure what kind of car would go in there. I'm right now thinking about like a 3-bay cover topper for plastics, or maybe some grain or other food related stuff. I don't know. And another problem is this would make more sense when I have the chance to somehow extend the switching lead on the left hand side, because right now beyond the turnout there's space for only the locomotive and a single car. So that would make it very difficult to switch. So it would be cool to extend the track, the main line, the main track on the left hand side a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. Right now I'm just considering all the options. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for stopping by and for watching this video. Please feel free to leave a comment, and I hope to see you soon on the next video on Springfield and Western. Goodbye.